You're welcome to this session at Medical Sciences Made Easy by Naphtali Muhumuza. And in this session, we want to introduce endocrinology, that is under physiology, both anatomy and physiology. And we want to see how these endocrine glands, where are they found in the body, and what do they do? And the first of all we want to see is, what is endocrinology? Please, before I start, I always remind you to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and always like the video and share to others. Let's get started. So this endocrinology is the study of endocrine glands. That's what I can say. We are looking at the study of endocrine glands in the body. And these endocrine glands in the body, they are the ones we are seeing on this picture. It is the study of endocrine glands in the body, and these endocrine glands, we call them, they are ductless. They are ductless, meaning they secrete their hormones, they secrete their chemical messengers known as hormones directly in blood circulation, directly into blood circulation. So these are the endocrine glands. Endocrine glands are ductless glands, and these ductless glands, they release their chemical messengers, those are hormones, directly in blood circulation. And it is the blood that transports them to their target site to produce their effect. So we see these endocrine glands releasing hormones in the blood, and then blood transports them from the point of origin to their target site where they exert their physiological effect. So these are endocrine glands. So these endocrine glands in the body, we have the first one as pineal gland. This is pineal gland. Then we have the anterior pituitary gland. Then we have the posterior. We have the posterior pituitary gland. This is posterior pituitary gland. From there we see in the neck region, and we have the thyroid, which is butterfly shaped. We have thyroid gland, and this thyroid gland is found in the neck region posterior to the oesophagus, and it is butterfly shaped in the neck region, and behind it we have what we call parathyroid glands. And these parathyroid glands, they are 4 in number. They are 4 in number, whereby they are found behind the thyroid, and we call them parathyroid glands. And they are 4 located behind the thyroid. They are located behind the thyroid gland. 4 of them. Those are what we call parathyroid hormone, or parathyroid glands. Then from there we see another gland here known as thymus. Thymus gland is also an endocrine gland. Then we see another gland. There is another gland found on the surface, on the top of the kidney. It is found on top of the kidneys, and this gland is known as adrenal gland. And this adrenal gland is divided into adrenal cortex and adrenal medulla, found on the top of the kidneys. Then we have another gland in the pancreas known as the islets of Langerhans. This is the pancreas, is also an endocrine gland whereby we find islets cells of Langerhans doing the endocrine part. Then from there we see other gland here. This is the ovary in female. We find it in female. Then we have also testis found in males. So these are the major endocrine glands found in the body. Where we have seen the pineal gland found in the brain. Hypothalamus, we are not including it here. It is not counted as a gland. Hypothalamus controls the action of anterior pituitary gland. So it is not a gland. Then we have the pituitary gland divided into the anterior and the posterior. And we are seeing this posterior gland is supplied by the nerves, whereby this one is the supraoptic nerve and this is the paraventricular nerve. And we shall see why they do. Then we have seen the thyroid in the neck region. We have seen the parathyroid, 4 of them behind the thyroid, then the thymus. So in each gland we want to see now which hormones is produced by each gland. We want to see hormones produced by each gland. So we are going to have the gland and then the hormones produced. But before we continue, we have to know what is a hormone. What is a hormone? A hormone is a chemical messenger. Hormones, you can say they are chemical messengers. And these chemical messengers are produced in trace amounts. Produced in trace amounts in the body. And after being produced, they are carried via blood circulation. Blood circulation to their target sites or organs where they exert their physiological function. Their physiological, or you can call it biochemical function. So hormones are chemical messengers. And these chemical messengers, we are saying they are produced in trace amounts, not in high amounts, by the body glands. And after being produced, they are produced directly in blood circulation, transported by the blood to the target sites. And when they reach their target site, they exert either physiological or biochemical effect, bringing about a response. That is a hormone. And after understanding what a hormone is, we now want to see each gland which hormones they are produced. So, gland, we have the pineal gland. We have the anterior pituitary gland. We have the posterior pituitary gland. Then we have the thyroid. We have the parathyroid, which I said there are 4 found behind the thyroid. Then we have the thymus. We have the adrenal. But we said adrenal is divided into cortex and medulla. Then we have another gland. We have the pancreas. Those are islets, whereby the pancreas has islets, whereby it has alpha cells, it has beta cells, and it has delta cells. Let us first see these ones. So these glands, the pineal gland releases a hormone known as serotonin. Serotonin hormone is produced by the pineal gland. Then the anterior pituitary gland produces different hormones like TSH, that is a thyroid stimulating hormone. It produces prolactin. It produces LH, that is luteinizing hormone. It produces follicle stimulating hormone. It produces also growth hormones. Produces growth hormone. And then lastly, it produces adrenocorticotropic hormone. So these are the hormones 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the 6 hormones produced by the anterior pituitary gland, where we have thyroid stimulating hormone, we have prolactin, we have luteinizing hormone, we have follicle stimulating hormone, and we have growth hormone and adrenocorticotropic hormone. These are the hormones produced by the anterior pituitary gland. Then after that, we have to look at the hormones produced by the posterior pituitary gland. Posterior pituitary gland does not synthesize the hormones. For it, it stores. So we are going to see these hormones are manufactured by the hypothalamus, whereby we shall see hormone like ADH, antidiuretic hormone, or known as vasopressin. This vasopressin hormone, it is produced by the supraoptic nerve of the hypothalamus. This is the hypothalamic region. The whole of this is the hypothalamus. So we are seeing supraoptic nerve producing antidiuretic, or what you call vasopressin hormone, whereas the paraventricular nerve is the one that is producing oxytocin. After being produced, this oxytocin and anterior pituitary and antidiuretic hormone produced by the supraoptic, then oxytocin produced by the paraventricular nerve. So when they are produced by the hypothalamus, they are stored in the posterior. So the posterior does not synthesize or secrete, it only stores, and when need be, it releases. So we are saying the hormone is stored. Here we are looking at it, stored. In the posterior pituitary gland, we have antidiuretic hormone and oxytocin. Then another gland is the thyroid, and this thyroid gland, it contains 2 different cells, whereby it has follicular cells, it has parafollicular cells, whereby follicular cells, they produce T4, what we call thyroxine, and T3. Then parafollicular produces calcitonin hormone. So these are the hormones produced by the thyroid gland, whereby we have the T3 and T4 from follicular cells of the thyroid, and then the parafollicular, it produces calcitonin. Then the parathyroid gland, for it produces parathyroid hormone, or some books call it parath hormone. It is the one that is produced by the parathyroid glands. Then the thymus, for it produces a thymosin hormone. Then we said the adrenal, which is found on the surface of the kidneys, it is divided into adrenal cortex. And this adrenal cortex produces, so the cortex, for it produces 2 types of hormones, whereby we have glucocorticoids and mineralocorticoids. And these glucocorticoids include cortisol, include cortisone. It includes corticosteroid. So glucocorticoids include cortisol, and corticosteroid hormone. And these are steroid hormones, as we shall see under classification. They are produced by the cortex, adrenal cortex. Then the medulla, the adrenal medulla, for it releases catecholamines. It produces catecholamines. And these catecholamines include, there are three. We have epinephrine, we have norepinephrine, and dopamine. These are the three hormones that are produced by the adrenal medulla. We have said the adrenal gland divided into two. The cortex, which produces glucocorticoids, and then produces mineralocorticoids. Mineralocorticoids examples we can give is aldosterone. Aldosterone, which is responsible for reabsorption of sodium in the DCT, or digital converted tubule of the kidney. That is the mineralocorticoid. But apart from the adrenal cortex producing glucocorticoids and mineralocorticoids, it also produces trace amounts of progesterone and estrogen. That's why you see even males have estrogen in their blood. Why? Because this estrogen is produced by the adrenal cortex. So I'm saying, apart from this adrenal cortex producing the glucocorticoids and the mineralocorticoids, it can also produce little amount of estrogen and in trace amounts is produced by the adrenal cortex. That's why you find also female having testosterone, because it is being produced by the adrenal cortex. Then we have seen medulla producing catecholamines. These are amine derivatives from amino acid tryptophan, whereby we have the epinephrine, norepinephrine, and dopamine. Then lastly is among the ones we have here is the pancreas. And we have seen the pancreas have the alpha cells. And these alpha cells, they secrete glucagon hormone when the glucose is gone. And this glucagon is responsible for increasing sugar levels. We shall see those processes. Then we have the beta cells. And these beta cells, for them, they produce insulin. And it is this insulin that causes the glucose to enter into cells. Without insulin, your glucose cannot enter into cells. So meaning for it acts by lowering blood sugar levels. Then we have a delta cells. And these delta cells, they produce a hormone known as somatostatin. And we shall see also its importance in the GIT by inhibiting gastrin hormone production. That is somatostatin produced by the delta cells. But there is another somatostatin produced by the hypothalamus, we shall see it, which inhibits production of growth hormone. That is somatostatin. After seeing these glands, we are remaining with the gonads. Gonads, that is the ovary and the testis, whereby the ovary, we shall see the ovary releasing, if I can put them here, ovary, it secretes hormones like estrogen, whereby the isoenzyme of estrogen produced by the ovary during menstrual cycle is E2. Then it also produces progesterone hormone. That is during menstrual cycle. That is the ovary. It's part of the gonad, and still it can produce another enzyme known as inhibin. We shall see its role. Then lastly is the testes. And these testes, they produce majorly testosterone hormone, which I like most. And then they produce also dihydrotestosterone. So these are some of the hormones that are produced by the testes, not forgetting the inhibin and activin. So these are the glands, whereby we have looked at gland 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So these are the major endocrine glands that we can talk about in the body. So this was a summary of the endocrine glands in the body and where they are found anatomically and even what they produce into the blood circulation. Thank you so much for listening to this video. Always remember to subscribe, share your comments, and like the video so that we may keep growing and growing. Thank you so much.